بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome back to my channel QHE Tajweed Rules of the Quran channel in English. Today, inshallah, we will start a new chapter, which is the chapter of النبر. What's النبر is, and what does this word mean, and where we do the nabr, the placement of the nabr in the Quran, everything about that, and the exception for every rule for this. We will know everything in this chapter together, inshallah. Our lesson for today is النبر. النبر meaning raising of the voice. Raising of the voice. تعريفه في علم الأصوات الحديثة هو الضغط على مقطع أو حرف معين من حروف الكلمة بحيث يكون صوته أعلى بقليل مما جاوره من الحروف. Let's see this by English. Again, I keep explaining by Arabic and then by English because this knowledge, it's from the beginning, it's Arabic knowledge. So we are trying to use the words in Arabic as much as we can till we learn it, inshallah. النبر is raising of the voice. The nabr is defined in the modern study of sounds as. Why we say modern study of sounds? Because the nabr in the back, people used to make it, but they don't call it nabr. They just say, make this letter clear. Word nabr as word nabr, it's new. It's not from long time. But the way we read with, it's from the days of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just the word, it's new. Okay, word nabr. It's pressure on a part of a specific letter of the word, so that its sound is a little louder than the other letters. We will understand this more by the cases and examples, inshallah. The placement of nabr in the Quran. It is in 5 different places in the whole Quran. What these 5 different places? Number 1, when we stop. Number 2, when we stopping and connecting. Number 3, when we connect only. We will understand more and more, okay? When we stop, we have 2 cases. We should to make nabr in. Case number 1, stop in a letter with a shaddah at the end of the word. If there is a letter with shaddah in the end of the word and we will stop on it, we should to make nabr in this letter, except there is exception for it. We will know it later. Number 2nd case, when we stop, when we have Hamza in the end of the word after mad or lean letter. When we stop or connect, we have another 2 cases. In واو and يا شدة, or in المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل, the compulsory heavy lengthening in a word, and we have exception for this case too. So we have exception in when we stop, when we have shadda in the last letter, and we have exception when we have مد كلمي مثقل too. Last case, when we connect and we have special placements for this. We have exception here and we have exception here. Our class today, inshallah, we will just take the first case here, which is when we stop on a letter with shadda at the end of the word, and we will take the exception of it. Let's go together and see this one. Stop on a letter with a shadda at the end of the word. Example, المس. المس. This is how we stop on it. أضل. This is how we stop on it. مستقر. This is how we stop on it. So if we look here, we will find the ra with shadda in the end. How can I stop on it again? مستقر. I raise my voice a little bit in the raw to let the one who listening to me feel this is too raw if I connect. Here لام شدة أضل المس in the scene. The reason of the نبر علة النبر حتى لا يسقط حرف في التلاوة، بل نشعر السامع أن هذا الحرف لو وصل لكان بزنة أي يستغرق زمن حرفين. This is by English. Why we do نبر in this case? So as not to drop a letter from the recitation. But we hear that this letter is if connecting would be equal to letters. Takes time 2 letters. Stop in a letter with shadda at the end of the word. We said we have exception for it. إستثناء. We have 2 exceptions. First exception when we have one of the qalqala letters in word قطب جد. Second exception if we have noon shadda or mim shadda. Right now we will starting to explain this case and see how can we not make nabr on it and when we can make nabr on it. After we finish this case, we will go for this case and explain it. Remember this shape, this drawing in your mind so you can get it. Right now we will explain letters of قطب جد in the nabr case. قطب جد letters, if there is no مد لازم compulsory heavy lengthening before it. Like what? Example, وتب. We don't make nabr here. وتب. الحق. الحج. We don't make any nabr here. We don't say الحق. We don't say وتب. This is wrong. Okay? Why we don't do that? If we look for word الحق as an example, we pronounce 2 قاف. The first قاف is ساكنة and the second قاف is with قلقلة. There is no need for making nabr because it's very clear. الحق وتب. It's very clear, it's 2 letters. I don't need to make nabr on it to make it clear. Different than word مستقر. This is if I don't make nabr. It sounds like one raw. But if I say مستقر, now I tell you there is 2 raw. Okay? Here, when I have to make nabr, we said I can't make nabr in letters of قطب جد, but there is exception. If it has mad letter before it, I should to make nabr on it. Like what? Like word يشاق. I have to make nabr here in the first second قاف. Why? I stretch 6 beats. 6 beats is a very long time. If I don't make nabr on the first qaf, it will be not clear there is 2 qaf. I will read it one time without this nabr, you will feel it. And I will read it with nabr and you will feel the difference. I have to show the one who listening to me it's 2 qaf, it's not 1 qaf. I will read it first without nabr and then I will read it with nabr. First one, يشاق. Second one, يشاق. Now you can tell it's 2 qaf, right? So the mouth is so busy with this long mad. If I don't make nabr here, the qaf, it will disappear. Inshallah, this is clear for you. Second exception here, the noon and the mim shadda. Why the noon and the mim shadda I don't make nabr on it? Because غنة here is أكمل ما تكون. أكمل ما تكون means the longest غنة in the Quran. feel that the meme and the noon like in الوصل, in the connecting, it's like when I stop. When I stop in word, like for example, word لكن, I give it same time like when I connect. لكن. So the one who listening, he will get it. It's right away. It's two noon. It's not one noon. Another example here. اليم. If I connect, it will be اليم. So it's the same exactly. So the one who listening, he will get it. It's two letters. It's not one letter. Because the غنة, it's enough to tell that. We don't need to make نبر to show the one in front of me. This is two letters. Inshallah, this is clear for you. Very quickly, I will put the exception in front of you with every details on it in two big drawing here. First exception in the letters of قطب جد, الحروف المقلقلة, letters of قلقلة. If there is no compulsory heavy lengthening before it, if there is no مد لازم before it, example word الحق, word الحج, الحق, وتب. It's very clear it's two letters. I don't need to make number to show it. It's with it's two letters. Word الحق as an example, because we pronounce two qaf. The first one is ساكنة, merging in the next qaf, and the second qaf is qaf مقلقلة, qaf with قلقلة. There is no need for نبر because it's very clear it's two letters, except if it's preceded by مد letter, like word يشاق. So if I have any مد letter 6 beats before one of the letters of قطب جد, I will make نبر in the first letter of it. First قاف, first طا, first باء, first جيم, first دال. Okay? But if I don't have this مد, I don't need to make any نبر in this قلقلة letter. I will stop on it because it's completely clear by itself. Second exception for noon ساكنة and meme ساكنة, we don't need to make نبر on it because the غنة on it, if I stop or if I connect in both cases, it's أكمل ما يكون. It's the longest غنة in the Quran, and the غنة is enough to tell me here there is two letters. I don't need to make نبر to make the one who listening to me understand it's two letters. This is everything about the exception of the first case when we stop on a letter with shadda at the end of the word. Any other letter with shadda, we will stop on it in the end of the word. It's not one of these two exceptions we should to make nabr on it. And we talked example about it like word mustaqar, adal, right, in the beginning. So inshallah, I hope this is clear for you. We'll talk about this case, Hamza in the end of word after mad or lean letter. Let's go together and see this case and how can we read these words. Second case, Hamza in the end of a word after mad or lean letter. When this is happen, when we stop. Examples. Example, we have word النسي. This is how we stop on it. We make nabr in the last hamza. Why we make nabr, we will know. But how can we stop again? We will see in more examples. But if you look here, this hamza has dhamma. It has dhamma. When I stop on it, this dhamma, it will turn to sukun. And before this hamza, I have mad wajib muttasil, 4 beats. You can back for the classes of mudud to know the kind of mudud. So I stretch 4 beats and then the hamza. So how can I read it one more time? An-si. This is the first example. Second example here, word as-su. This is how I stop in the Hamza too. I raise my voice in the Hamza a little bit to make it clear. So if you look here, this is Hamza with kasra, but if I stop, it will turn to sukun. It has mad wajib muttasil before it, so I stretch this waw 4 beats and then I sound the Hamza. In this case, I should to make it with Nabr. Again, this Hamza I make Nabr on it when I have mad or lean letter before it and I stop on this Hamza. Next example is, it's an example for a lean here. Sheen fatha ya sukun. This is lean. It's not mad. Mad, it should to be ya preceded by kasra, but here it's preceded by fatha. That means this is lean. In this case, I will make nabr in the Hamza. In mad or lean, in both cases, but I show you for you different example. These two examples, it's for mad, and this example for lean now. So I have to stretch this ya 4 beats because it's mad wajib muttasil in one word and it's end with Hamza. And I should in this case to make Nabr in the Hamza when I stop on it. Instead of to kasra, it will be sukun. How can I read it? Shay. Okay. So next one, word السماء. This is how I stop in the Hamza. I cut the voice on it and I raise my voice a little bit to make it clear. Next word is قُرُوء. This is how I stop in the Hamza with a Nabr. Inshallah, this is clear for you. What happens if I don't make this Nabr? What happens if I don't make this Nabr? Let's read one of these words without Nabr and see how it will be. السماء. What happened for the Hamza? It disappear, right? That's why this is the reason of Nabr in the Hamza. Reason for Nabr, so the Hamza is not lost after a long mad or lean letter. Note, the Nabr here is to bring out the Hamza by collision, تصادم القوي, and not by contact, التلامس, because the mouth is busy with long time on mad. So in this case, we need to make it clear in the end. So you have to hit the Hamza, the articulation point of the Hamza, the vocal cords, it should to be hit very strong each other, and you make the Hamza clear. As-sama. This is how you make it. So you raise your voice and you make collision very strong in the vocal cords. Inshallah, this is clear for you. This is when we stop. So we finish the two cases of when we stop. The first case, it was in the letter with Shadda, and we talked about the exception on it. Right now, today, we talked about Al-Hamza when we stop on it after mad or lean letter. How can we stop on it? This is the second case of Nabr. Now we will talk about the Waw Shadda and Ya Shadaa, how we make Nabr on it. We make Nabr on it in both cases when we connect or when we stop. So all the time I make Nabr on it. Why I make Nabr on it? The reader should make Nabr because if they don't, it will give the listener a feeling that there is stretching in the letter Waw or Ya instead of Shadda. Let's see examples and see how can we make Nabr on it, and if we don't make Nabr on it, how it will sound. Examples, word Tawwaba. Tawwaba. This is how I make it with Nabr. If I don't make Nabr, it will be Tawwaba. توابا. It's like wow stretching wow. It's not like the two wow. Second example here is شرقية. شرقية. If I don't make number, it will be شرقية. Yeah. It's like one yeah, or it's like a stretching yeah, which is wrong. Next one, الحي. This is how I stop on it. الحي. This is example for the stopping. If I don't make number on it, I will stop. الحي. Wrong. الحي. Wrong. Okay. Next example here is زكريا. القوة. عدو. I have to make the number in the wow shadda and ya shadda when I stop or when I connect in both cases. Because if I don't make this number, it will be like one ya or one wow with a stretching in the length. I will read all these words one more time with a number again to let you feel how we should to make the number. Remember, word number means raising a voice in one letter. I need to raise a voice on it. Here, I will raise my voice in wow and ya. Let's listen and see how can we make it. توابا. القوة. عدو. For the ya. شرقية. زكريا. الحي. This is how I make number on it. Again, word number, it's a new in the as a word. It's new as a word. But it's from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We should to raise our voice a little bit on it. There is different schools on it. Some of the schools, they don't make it very clear like what I made right now. But this is the way of school of Dr. Ayman Swaid. Some other schools, like Egyptian schools, they read it like Sharqiyya, like that only. Okay, but they still show there is two ya here. Al-Quwwah, Al-Quwwah. It's still make it two wow, but it's still not with the strong way I do with. Both of them is right, and it's different opinion in the schools, no problem on that. But our point in the end to show there is two wow and there is two yeah. It's not a stretching wow or stretching yeah. Let's go here and see in Surah Maryam, the end of each verse here, it has Yaa Shadaa, and it's very clear to make Nabr on it. I will read each word in the end of each verse to see how we read it. زكريا. خافيا. شاقيا. وليا. Did you hear how we read it? If we don't make number, how it will be? زكريا. خافيا. شاقيا. Where is the second ya? It's gone. Okay, so I have to read it with number. وليا. رضيا. زكريا. سميا. عتيا. سويا. عشيا. I think this Surah Maryam especially, it has a lot of number in the. One of the important surahs we should to say about it, Surah Al-Fatiha. إياك نعبد. Don't say إياك نعبد. إياه. Wrong. It should be إياك نعبد. وإياك نستعين. We should to make the two ya shadda clear. If you open your Quran and look in Surah Al-Fatiha, you will find the word إياك. Yeah, it has shadda on it and fatha. So you have to be sure You sound it like two ya, not like one stretching ya. Inshallah, this is clear for you. One of the important mistakes I heard from a lot of people, instead of making Nabr letter ya is a رخو letter. It has a length of رخاوة, long length. I can't say Zakariya. This is wrong. It should be Zakariya. Shutuya without cut the voice and make it like shadid letter. Don't say Zakariya. This is wrong. This is wrong. Okay, be sure you make the number right. It's need a little bit practicing. Inshallah, our class about المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل. I give you advice to back to check المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل in the chapter of مدود. I will put for you in the top here in the white circle the link of this lesson inshallah. Let's go and see this number 2 المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل in stop and connect. This is happen when we stopping or connecting. Example for each word الحاقة. So I have to raise my voice and make نبر in the first of ساكنة. Second one الضالين. So I have to raise my voice in the first لام ساكنة here after the مد لازم كلمي مثقل. This is مد 6 beats لازم كلمي in a word and مثقل because there is shadda after it. You can stay back for this lesson and watch it to understand more about it. Next here is word الصافات. So I have to raise my voice a little bit and push in the letter of the first letter of ساكن from المشدد, from the shadda letter. Next example here, word أتحاجوني. Inshallah, this is clear for you. Why we do Nabr here? Reason for Nabr so the sound is not weakened after a mad letter. So we hear that the letter after the mad is two letters with shadda. It's two letters with shadda. Still under the case of stopping and connecting. That means this Nabr I do it if I stop or if I connect. All the time I should to make Nabr in the letter after المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل. The compulsory heavy lengthening in a word. المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل. The exception on it الاستثناء. If we have نون شدة or ميم شدة after المد الكلمي اللازم المثقل, we don't need نبر because the length of the غنة is enough to tell this نون or ميم is two letters. So we don't need to make any نبر here if we have ميم شدة or نون شدة after المد 6 beat, after the مد of the 6 beats. Why? Because the غنة in this ميم and نون it's أكمل ما تكون. It's the longest غنة in the Quran. It can tell me right away this letter has two letters. It's not just one letter. Example for it, word الطامة. Here أتحاجوني. If you notice here, we didn't make any nabr in the noon shadda here, but in the jim shadda we make nabr, because noon shadda, it has ghunna, the longest ghunna in the Quran, and it's enough to show me there is 2 letters, it's not 1 letter. I will read this word one more time and listen for the letter jim and for the letter noon and how the difference between both of them. Inshallah, this is clear for you. By this, we explain the second 2 cases when we stopping and connecting. So we finish 4 cases total in the النبر. We still have one more case to finish the 5 placements of the Nabr in the Quran. We talked first class about when we stopping, we make Nabr in the mushaddad letter, and we talk about exception of it, and we talked about Hamza coming the end of the word after mad or lean letter. Today and the last class, we talked about the case when we stopping and connecting. In both cases, we should to make Nabr. If you connect or if we stop, in the both cases we make nabr in the Waw Shadda or Yaa Shadaa, and we make nabr in both cases. That's meaning all time in the first second letter from the Shadda letter after al-Madd al-Kalami al-Lazem al-Muthaqqal. Inshallah, we will talk about when we connect, and we said there is a special placements for it in the Quran. Today in our class we will explain these placements, and we explain why these special placements we do nabr on it in these special words. When we connect special placements, حالة نطق كلمة في آخرها ألف التثنية وقد سقطت لالتقاء الساكنين، وذلك في مواضع خاصة، ففي الوصل نأتي بالنبر قبل ألف الاثنين حتى نشعر السامع بأن هناك ألف للتثنية سقطت بسبب التقاء الساكنين. What we said here, special placements, this is only in 3 different words in 3 specific places in the Quran. These 3 words speak about 2 persons. These 3 words, it's talk or speak about 2 persons who made the verb. In Arabic grammar, we express this by putting an alif as a last letter in the verb. This alif, we call it alif at-tathniya. Let's explain this a little bit more. If I say, for example, here, أكل. أكل means he ate. As one person, he ate. Okay? This is talk about one person who made this verb. If I want to talk about 2 persons, they made this verb, I will say أكلا, and I will put alif in the end here. Another example here, word لعب. لعب means he played. He played. If I want to say both of them played, I will say لعب with alif in the end. Another example, word شرب. شرب means he drank. Okay, this is means one person who made this verb, which is he drank. Okay, if I want to talk about 2 persons, both of them drink, I will say shariba, and I will put alif in the end. This alif, we call it alif at-tathniya. We call it what? Alif at-tathniya. This alif, we call it alif al-muthanna or alif at-tathniya in the grammar Arabic. And it's tell me about two subject or two person made a verb. Okay, two person made one verb or two subjects. Inshallah, this is clear for you. This alif, we call it alif al-tathniya or alif al-muthanna. In these three words, the alif is followed by a sukoon as the first letter. Which three words? The cases, special placements for the Nabr in the Qur'an. In these three places, the special placements of the Qur'an, we have after this alif in the next word, first letter is sakin. This alif will drop in connecting because of the Arabic rules that two second letter can't be recited together. And we call it التخلص من التقاء الساكنين. We will explain this more inshallah. Without Nabr, the listener may think the verb is singular instead of plural. The Nabr is used only when reciting these words in connecting. But when we stopping on these verbs with an alif, that indicates it is plural. There is no need for Nabr since the reason for it has disappeared. Let's explain this in the three words in the Quran to understand what we read right now more. First placement in the Quran we should to make Nabr on this is word ذاق الشجرة. I make Nabr where? In this qaf. Not in that alif, but I color for you the alif to show you the alif of al-muthanna, the alif of two persons, they tested the tree. If I say ذاق الشجرة, ذاق الشجرة, it's exactly like when I say one person who tests this tree. To make it clear in the connecting for the one who listener, this is two person who made the verb, which is Adam and Hawa radiallahu anhuma. We should to make Nabr in this letter before alif to let the one in front of me focus. This is two person, not one person. ذاق الشجرة. This is how I read it. If I look here, this alif is sakina. All the alif in the Quran and in Arabic it's a sakina. And the letter after here is sakin too. The letter after is sakin too. First letter with haraka here is the sheen fatha. So if I read, I will read from qaf fatha to sheen shadda right away. I say the qash, 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 right? That's mean all these sakin it's dropped in between. Then if I say the qash shajara, it's give me feeling like it's one person who tested this tree. To make it clear, it's two persons and we don't confuse the meaning, we should to make Nabr in this qaf. The qash shajara, to tell you it's two persons who make this verb. Next, this is verse 22 from Surah Al-A'raf. Next one here, next placement for the Nabr in this case, which is وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابَ. This is in Surah Yusuf. And وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابَ. This is how I read it. If I look here, I will find this alif is sakina. The alif after it's Hamza wasl, which is sakina too, and it will drop in the reading. Lam is sakina. Go from qaf fatha to lam sukoon right away. استبق qal. This is how I read it. That means this alif is dropped in the reading and Hamza al-wasl is dropped in reading too. You can back for lam chapters, the lam sakina chapters, and understand this more. So if I go from qaf fatha to lam sukoon right away, these two is dropped in between. When it's dropped, what happened? This verb, it gives me meaning there is one person who استبق, who make this verb. But this is in the real two persons, Prophet Yusuf sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the wife of Al-Aziz. That's mean I should to make this clear. It's two person who made the verb, not one person. That's why we make nabr in this of. واستبق الباب. I raise my voice a little bit in the qaf to make it clear it's two person who made this. This is in Surah Yusuf, verse 25. When I give you the location of it exactly in the Quran, to open your Quran and put sign in the Quran to tell you when you are reading, you should to make nabr here. So every time you go through Surah Yusuf, for example, you will know this placement of nabr and you should to make nabr on it. Same thing in Surah Al-A'raf. The verse before, you should to put a sign for it to know every time you read there is a nabr here. And remember all these cases when we connect only. But when we stop, I will say wastabaqa. And if it will be very clear, it will not drop. So it will tell me this is two person who made this subject. In these three placements again, this is happen when we connecting only. We make the nabr when we connecting only. But when we stop, we don't need this nabr because the alif, it will be clear and it will give me the meaning of two person who made this verse. If I stop, I will say wastabaqa, very clear. If I stop in word wadhaqa, alif, clear. Okay? But if I connect this alif, it will drop. That's why I should to make nabr to tell you this is two person who made this verb. Next placement, and this is the last placement, وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ. Verb وَقَال, if I say وَقَالَ أحمد, for example, that's mean Ahmad said. How can I write it? I will write it like that. قال أحمد. Ahmad said. Okay? If I say وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ, it's give me there is one person he said Alhamdulillah. To make it clear, it's two persons. I will raise my voice in the letter lam here a little bit to tell the one who listening to me. It's two persons, they said. Both of them said Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Then how I read it? وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ. Inshallah, this is clear for you. This is in verse 15, Surah An-Naml. So we have three placements in the Quran total for Nabr. These three placements is a special placements because this verb is talking about two persons. If I don't make Nabr, the meaning it will be confused and it's a give meaning like I'm talking about one person who made this verb. You can go in your Quran one more time and write these three placements in your surahs, underline it and write there is nabr here. In what? In the letter before alif. And my advice for you back for Bab al-Lamat to understand about this al-Ta'rif. Okay? Next note here, and it's very important. Why these three placements in the Quran only I make nabr on it? We have another placements in the Quran. It's talking about two person who made the verb. Then why these only three placements? We make nabr only in these three cases, but in the other two subjects in the Quran, I'm talking about another two persons, they do a verb, or any two subject in the Quran, it's muthanna, it's for two. In the Quran, we don't make nabr. Why? Because there is no confused in the meaning. Like what? I will not make nabr here. Why? Because da'a, it's one person. But da'aw, that's mean right away, it's more than one person. So I don't need to make Nabr in this case because it's very clear it's more than one person who make dua, who pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I don't need to make Nabr here and say da'awullaha. I don't need to do that because da'a, it's singular. It's the verb in singular. It's completely different than da'aw, right? So I will not confuse in the meaning between one person and more than one person. But in other verbs, it's very confused. If I don't make Nabr, it will give me feeling like it's one person who made the verb, which is, it changes the meaning of the Quran. Again, everything we explain in the Tajweed rules, it's rules. And this is what the scholars understand. And this is what we learn from them. But everything in the end, it's riwayah. It's by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It came for us like that. Prophet Muhammad didn't make Nabr and say da'awullah. He read it da'awullah, normal. But in other places, he make Nabr. So we follow him anyway. Okay? رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. With my best wishes to you, teacher Hebalithi. By this, our class for today is done. The chapter of Nabr is completely done. And please check the description box, inshallah. I will put for you some important information there, plus the links of the chapter of Nabr total. Jazakumullahu khairan. To watch my channel QHE Tajweed Rules of the Quran channel in English. Please, you will find in your right hand writing by red, it's wrote on it, subscribe. If you push it, I will be so happy if it's turned for another color. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.